Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to boot into Ubuntu on VirtualBox. Now, I chose VirtualBox because, it's really easy to record and it doesn't require me, restarting my PC and everything, and it just makes everything a lot easier and much more simple to show on video. So basically, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Ubuntu website, which is ubuntu.com, and you're going to want to go over to download. And once you get here, you're just going to click down this little button right here, it's download install, and pick the latest version. And whether or not you want 32 or 64-bit, I'm going to stick with 32-bit because it is recommended. And then you can click the start download button over here. Now, it's going to take a little bit to download. It's about, I think, around 650 megs. So, depending upon your internet speed, shows how long it'll take. But I've already downloaded it, so we're not going to waste time on that. We're just going to get right into it. Whenever you finish downloading, you're going to have an ISO file. Now, mine looks like this because I have a program called Clone Drive. And this makes it easier for me to set up ISO files because I can just go into my computer and I can set up the drive on the E drive right here. So if I just go right here and I mount it, it'll set it up and it's already on the E drive for me. So I don't have to get a CD or anything. It's just a virtual, it'll clone it to have its own drive, so I don't have to get a CD or anything and burn it to it. So since that's already set up, I'm going to open up VirtualBox and going to click New. And from here, you're just going to click Next and name it whatever you want, Ubuntu, and it's going to find, it's going to choose operating system Linux, but if it gets anything wrong, just change it out for the correct settings. I'm going to pick the first Ubuntu on this one because the second one is 64-bit, but I downloaded the 32. But, if you downloaded the 64, obviously choose that option. You're going to click Next, and this is where you allocate as much RAM as you want. I'm just going to go with the 2 gigs for now. The recommended is about 512, but I'm going to do 2 gigs because I'm actually going to keep this VirtualBox and use it. So I'm going to click Next, and you're just going to click Next from here and set up a VDI and dynamically allocated. And I'm just going to keep it at the current settings of 8 gigs, but in the previous tutorial for setting up VirtualBox, you can set it to as much as you want. But for right now, I'm just going to keep it right around 8 gigs. That's good enough. So we're going to click Next and then create one more time. And you have Ubuntu set up. Now, since I do have this already mounted to the E drive, this makes it a lot simpler when I start it up because I can just double click on this to have it start up. You're going to click Next from here, and then I'm going to choose E right here because that's where it's been mounted to. You're going to click Start after that, and you're going to let it load up. And this will just take about a minute or so. Going to load up, but you should be getting a few pop-ups. I don't think mine are going to be set up to run again because I've already told them not to run. But if you do get a few pop-ups, I think there's about 3 or 4 of them, just click OK and you can set to not display them anymore so they don't bother you. And it just makes everything a lot simpler. It doesn't get all cluttered and all that. Alright, so now Ubuntu is just about to start up. We're going to get to the installation screen right around here. It's going to pop up in just a second. And you're going to have 2 options at the beginning. You'll see in just a moment once it loads. Where's it at? It should be coming up. Okay, so you have try Ubuntu and then install. And so basically, if you just want to try it out, test it, see what it's like, you can click the try button. But I'm going to install it so I can go through the whole process and show you everything that you need to do. So just going to click install Ubuntu right here, and it's gonna have a little checklist for you. And obviously all of my check marks, I'm all checked off, good to go. So you need at least 4.4 gigs of available drive space, plugged into a power source and connected to the internet. I have that. I'm going to check mark both of these boxes, basically download updates while installing and install the third-party software, which it tells you right here. It's to display Flash, MP3, and other media. Just makes it easier if just have that check mark now so you don't have to do it later. So after that, you're going to click Continue, and you're going to keep it on Erase Disk and Install Ubuntu. You can click Continue from there. It's already selected. You're going to click Install Now. And just give this a second to go up. Just make sure all these settings are right, but they're going to be correct. Hopefully they'll be correct. I know mine are whenever it comes up. But from here, you can pick wherever you're at. I'm going to keep it on New York for right now. Just going to click Continue. And that's just to set up the time zone and all that, so it's on the proper time zone. Here's where you select your keyboard layout. Obviously mine's going to be English and English US. You can test it down here, whatever you want to do, you know, just to see if it's working, which mine is. So I'm going to click continue. And we're just going to give it a second. Alright, from here you're gonna type in your name. So I'm going to put down Cody, and it's going to put my username as that, and then put in a password for it. Something simple that you can remember, but not too simple that anybody can guess, if you are going to keep this as your partition, or OS, if you're going to dual boot, you know. So, just require a password and all that, and click continue. Alright, this part is going to take a little bit, so I am going to skip from here, but, you know, you can have fun reading all of this stuff. It tells you everything that Ubuntu really has to offer, and they do have a lot to offer compared to other, you know, Linux distributions and all that. It makes everything really user-friendly, and that's why I really like Ubuntu. So, I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to resume when it's finished installing. There aren't any options really whenever you're installing other than restarting your PC. So at that point, it's going to come up and it's going to say you need to restart your PC. But since mine's on the VirtualBox, it's just going to restart that. So you're just going to click restart, and I'm going to resume after that point. So I'll see you then. Alright, so we're back after that installation. It should have taken about like 20 minutes or so. I know mine takes like 22 minutes, give or take a few. But anyways, after that, when you click restart and everything, it's going to come up to the boot screen. I didn't start recording at that point, so I didn't get to capture it. But from there, it'll tell you like to remove a device or something like that. If you did it the way I did, just hit enter. Don't worry about that. It's not going to harm anything. Nothing's going to go wrong. You'll be perfectly fine. But after that's done and it boots in again, you're going to come up to this screen right here, which will be the login screen. So just type in the password that you assigned when you were installing Ubuntu and everything. And you'll be able to log in, and just give it a second. It'll take a few minutes. To make this easier to see. There we go. Alright, so I'll just do a quick little blurb, I guess, about this for the dashboard and everything on Ubuntu, and then that'll be the end of this. You know, you have your little icons on the side over here. Firefox already comes pre-installed, like it'll install with Ubuntu, so you don't have to worry about installing that. But you know, if you use Chrome, you can use Firefox to go in there and get Chrome. You know the whole setup. Writer and Calc and Impress, those are basically like Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. The Ubuntu Software Center is really cool. I think it's the coolest thing to use on here, pretty much. I mean, as far as I've discovered, there could be a ton of other things that are cooler than that, but like for somebody who's never used Linux before, this is so cool to like see this, because I'm used to Windows, so I'm not used to this at all. But basically, when you open up, it's like an app store, pretty much. But the thing is, everything's free. Now there may be some paid apps, I do not know, but as far as I've read around and all that, everything is free. And it's just so cool, all the different tools that you can do. I mean, you have developer tools in here. You can go back and you can look at, there's games, you can go fonts, graphics, internet, I mean, sound and video. Oh, sorry, I have a little driver update available, just ignore that for right now. But the sound and video, you know, they have everything in here, like your VLC media player, Audacity if you want to record your voice for anything, and just everything is free. And I mean, you can see all the apps that they have in here. It's just, it's amazing how many apps are available for Ubuntu. And you can just mess around with this whenever you're in here, find any apps that that you would like to try out, and like I can't stress this enough, it's free. So you don't have to, I mean, you just try out anything you want. If you don't like it, delete it, and you know, that'll be the end of it. It's awesome. So I mean, I think that is the coolest thing about Ubuntu, is that it's free. I mean, you can't get much better than that. You have this really nice operating system, a really nice GUI, you know, with some, I mean, everything is just really user friendly, and it's all free. So, you know, like I keep saying, you can't get much better than that. But that is basically it for installing Ubuntu. I think I covered everything that I could possibly think of. But if you're having any problems, there's a countless number of resources online to help you out. The Ubuntu community, everybody is so helpful over there. So, you know, just check that out, and they can help you with any troubleshooting problems you have. But you should be able to figure everything out. It's very user friendly. So, one last little thing. Whenever you want to shut down, obviously just click that little button right up there and just click shut down, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.